Hi everyone, I'm Renée McLennan with an update from our June Council meeting. So at this month's Council meeting, we approved proceeding with the underground power project that we've been working on with Western Power for the northern part of our town. So this means that a large section of Eden Hill and Bassendean north of the train line is going to benefit from having underground power in the coming year. So ordinarily, these projects require property owners within the project area to fund at least 50% of the total project cost. But in this pilot project, Western Power is going to be covering the cost of all of the major infrastructure up and down the streets, with property owners only being required to cover the cost of connection from the dome to their individual home. So this is fantastic. It means that we're getting all the benefits of underground power at a fraction of the cost, and we'll be able to plant large trees along our streets, reduce our pruning costs, have much better electricity supply, make our streets more beautiful, and of course property values also go up. So the project is due to start in August and should take about 12 to 18 months to complete. Property owners in the affected area won't be required to make any contributions until the 21-22 financial year, and it's planned to be over a 3-year period. But anyone who is struggling financially at that time, I encourage you to get in touch with the town staff so they can work with you in your individual circumstances. On the agenda, we also had our town centre plan. So many of you would remember contributing last year to the Bassendean Dream, our future project, which our staff are currently using all of that feedback to create a new planning framework that reflects our town's vision for the future. So they're making great progress on our new local planning strategy and scheme, and the next step is to develop a town centre master plan. So this will guide where developments go in our town centre, how we want to use our open spaces and connectivity between everything. Now we know that people want to see a vibrant and thriving town centre, and that people want most of our density to be concentrated around our train station and in our town centre, so that we have the critical mass of people necessary to support our local businesses and help them thrive. So we'd really want everybody to be part of the conversation over the coming months about what the town centre can look like, but we're also going to be having conversations with other stakeholders, so that hopefully through this process we'll develop some partners who'll be able to help us to deliver on this vision for our town centre. Now when we talk about development, we always want to ensure that the development that we attract is quality. So we also adopted a new policy at this month's meeting around our design review panel. So what this means is that for any significant future developments within the town, they'll be required to go through the design review process. So there'll be a panel of independent experts who are able to provide architectural advice during the development application process, with the intention being to deliver higher quality design outcomes to benefit our community. Now we also know, as well as quality design, our community is really interested in making sure that our town is green and leafy and shady. So as a council, we've been investing heavily in planting in our street reserves, our verges, and in our parks. But we know that the majority of canopy loss is actually still occurring on private property. So we need to incentivise tree retention on private property and grow more trees on private property if we are to realise our community's vision. So the new tree retention and provision policy is really a step in the right direction to help to deliver on that vision. So we will now be requiring for any new developments a minimum of one medium-sized tree per 350 metres of site area, and also a minimum of one tree per lot. For sites that already have existing mature trees, we're incentivising developers to retain them and encouraging them to be creative in their designs to incorporate that tree into the development that they're proposing. Now there is more that needs to be done in this space if we're to have suburbs that aren't devoid of trees in backyards, but that requires stronger controls at the state level. So over the coming months, we'll be having a conversation with our community to get an understanding of what level of control you would be supportive of, and then we can advocate to the state government for those changes that need to be made. Now, one of the benefits that's come out of COVID-19 is the increased number of people who are walking and cycling using active transport in our town. So we know that's great for our health. It's also great for community connection and also for the environment. You may have seen that we are currently in the process of constructing the Whitfield Safe Active Street and also the missing link of the principal shared path through Success Hill. And we want to keep building on that momentum and encouraging active transport. So we adopted this month our long-term cycle network, which has been developed in conjunction with the Department of Transport. Now this really allows us to have a plan for the future and to be able to apply for grant funding to deliver future cycle infrastructure projects within our town. We'll be putting in an expression of interest for grant funding for the coming financial year to design cycling infrastructure that goes from our town centre through the north of our town up through Eden Hill. So look forward to having some more cycle projects in the coming years. You may have already heard about the Mary Crescent Reserve, Our Park, Our Place project that we are undertaking in partnership with Greening Australia. So this is an opportunity for us to come together as a community, to connect with nature and to rethink Mary Crescent Reserve, to restore the wetlands, to plant more trees and to give it a bit of a facelift. So at the moment, consultation is open where you have the opportunity to contribute your ideas for a design of Mary Crescent Reserve. So jump onto the town's website and make sure you give us your ideas so we can get a really great result in that reserve. Now this week, Plastic Free July kicks off for its 10th year. It's a great opportunity for each of us to challenge ourselves, to make some small changes in our life that will have a big impact on our planet. So we can join with lots of people around the world who are making changes so that together we can reduce our impact. So I'd challenge each of you to try and identify one thing in your daily lives that you can swap out for an alternative so that we can each reduce the plastic that we're consuming and producing in the world.